2023 is coming to an end, and with it, there will be a lot of people looking to finally make a shift in their lives. I've never really been a big New Year's guy because I feel like we shouldn't wait for this momentous occasion to finally make a change. But as I've gotten older, I've realized sometimes we kind of need that reset point to really get the ball rolling. Sometimes our minds need something to look forward to, or a date that's set in stone to actually execute the things we want to do. Now, for those of you guys who've been following the off day series and this channel, you know that I messed up last week and didn't post a video, and I hope you can forgive me. I was a little busy doing a couple of different things, such as releasing my book, finally, for pre-order, and making sure everything was running smoothly with my clothing brand going live in stores. Now, y'all might think I'm trying to flex with that, but really, it feeds right into the point I just made. Had I not set specific dates in my mind and made agreements with myself, I would have never done those things. I would have never met the deadlines I needed to meet because there wouldn't have been any deadlines. And I would have pushed back the things that I said I wanted to do more and more and more while complaining about not getting them done. These things have been big milestones for me. And I've caught myself over and over again feeling like it wasn't even real. I still look and see my book on Amazon and think, is this really happening? And so as I've started to check some things off of my list that I've been wanting to do with my life, I find myself almost struggling to accept that good things are happening. I'm sure you guys have heard of the term self-sabotage before, and it kind of goes in that direction. There's a voice in my head that refuses to accept that the things that I've set out to do are actually happening. The more and more you set out to do the things you want to do, the more you're going to be faced with this fear of success, that refusal to accept that your dream is coming true. So what I've been trying to tell myself over and over again on a daily basis is it's happening. Whether that be with my main career as a basketball player, with my ongoing book launch as an author, or any other venture that I'm involved with. I try to silence that voice by reminding myself that this is exactly what I set out to do. And so it's normal that it's happening. When I say fear of success, I don't exactly mean that we're afraid of all of the good things that will happen to us. Of course not. Those things are part of the motivation for us to continue going and striving to do great things. But we all, on a deeper level, understand that success changes our lives. It takes us out of our comfort zones. And a lot of times, the step just before success opens us up and makes us vulnerable in ways we haven't been before. Releasing my book is a prime example of that. I worked hours and hours and hours crafting those characters and designing an entire world. And the thought of sharing that with others and the flaws of my work being exposed was very scary, and still is. But I've gotten to the point to where I'm not going to let the thought of my work being criticized stop me from sharing it with people who might draw inspiration from it, like I did from other people's work. All that time I spent concerned about what the successful publishing of a book could bring distracted me from how close I was to actually completing the process. The moment I decided to go through with the publishing process and finally got the ball rolling, I realized that most of the hard work had already been done. And I think if you look at your life, you'll realize that you're close to your breakthrough somewhere as well. You just have to find it. They say energy flows where attention goes. And I know that sounds, once again, a little woo-woo, but if you break it down, there's really no denying it. If you focus on or give your attention to the micro steps that are necessary for you to get to where you want to be, you have no choice but to end up there. Taking on bigger challenges to end off the year has really put that in perspective for me. The act of publishing a book in my mind was such a huge thing, but once I finally broke it down into manageable steps, the book was released before I even knew it. And now, having that experience and proving to myself that a task like that is possible creates momentum for me to continue doing things like that in the future. Book 2 will be a smoother process than book 1. Book 3 will be a smoother process than book 2, and so on. The only thing that can stop you on your way to getting to where you want to be is paying attention to things that don't serve you. If I would have focused on the possible criticisms my work might face, I would have never published my book. But me falling in love with the process and understanding that my book is a success, even if not one person buys it, freed me to take the actions necessary to publish a novel. But that doesn't mean the war for my attention is over. That's an ongoing process that I'm still going through. The book's available for pre-order, but it doesn't fully release until the 14th. So it's a constant process to keep my mind focused on the things I can control and the things that'll serve me. me. Worrying about whether or not my book will be a bestseller or not doesn't get me anywhere. The only thing I can do is to continue to do the best I can in everything I do and let the chips fall where they may. Because in the end, the thought of being a bestseller isn't what drove me to write a book. It was wanting to see an idea come to fruition. Becoming a bestseller would be a nice byproduct of that, but it was never the goal. So my final thought will be this: the sooner you can separate your worth from the outcome, the quicker you'll make it to whatever destination you're on your way to, and the more destinations you'll be able to reach. The process isn't always easy, and it's full of ups and downs and a lot of remembering and forgetting what's important. But the more consistently we can stick to that mindset, the more great things we'll be able to achieve. I'm just glad that now we'll be able to achieve those things together. I'll see you guys soon.